Hi everybody, I'm Ed Thomas, President of Dimension 2000, and today I would like to share some of the instructional resources Mathcore2k.com provides. I'm going to enter the website Mathcore2k.com by going to my web browser, and at the address bar on top I'm going to type in Mathcore, and it filled it in for me. Mathcore2k.com, and right here I'm going to click on member login, and when you become a member you will receive a login and a password, and you'll just enter those and you'll be into the site just like I am right now. Notice that on the left side we have our tabs, and the first one I want to share is grade specific Common Core standard resources. So I click on that button and notice grade level buttons appear. Now, I won't have time today to show you samples of all the grade levels, so I'm just going to do grades 1, 4, 7, and high school. So I'll click on grade 1, and notice the topics that come up are those which correlate or correspond with the Common Core standards. And for today, I'm going to share place value and operations on numbers. Now, we have three icons that appear, one for teacher's notes, one for centers, and one for hands-on and memorable activities. I'm going to share the centers, and our centers are not just good for centers but also provide a lot of nice ideas for lessons themselves. And notice that our centers address four different things. One, the mastery of the skill associated with the standard. Two, the understanding of the standard. Three, we provide an interpersonal task which lets students connect the math to their world. And then 4, we have a self-expressive task which allows students to be creative with respect to the mathematics associated with the Common Core standard. So this first page shows a breakdown of the general ideas that we're going to be addressing with our centers activities. But now as you start to scroll and take a look at the pages that follow, these are the actual activities. So for the mastery task, we have students adding and subtracting two-digit numbers, and these cards can easily be printed and cut so the students as they go to the centers can do different activities. Now here we have an interpersonal task, and if you notice this one right here, it says work with a partner, person A and person B. Write the two-digit number associated with a current year. What will that number be in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years? So the students are practicing adding multiples of 10 back to the current two digits representing this year. And so we're connecting the math to their world. And again, we have different cards with different activities. Now for the understanding piece, we're teaching students how to add numbers like 24 and 32 by breaking them down into their tens components and their ones components. So 24 plus 32 becomes 20 plus 30 plus 4 plus 2, which is 50 plus 6, which is 56. And again, we have several cards here with multiple examples, and the kids again can go around in centers and practice and work on their understanding of the concept. Now for the self-expressive task, let's take a look at this one on the top right. It says create 3 two-digit numbers whose sum is 65. So here the kids have to think about their own numbers that they are going to create, but it has to work out so that when they add these three numbers together they get a total of 65. So a real nice application activity for the students, and again we have a couple of different cards that the students can practice. Now I'm going to click the back arrow, and I want to go back to the different grade levels, and I want to show you an example of grade 4. Now from grades 3 through high school, we actually type out the standards themselves. So we're actually looking at the list of the standards, and notice here's a topic number and operations, and we have more information on place value, but this is a 4th grade level. So I click on the standard, and what we have here for grades 3 through 12 is everyone's going to get a model lesson plan, they're going to get a task rotation activity and a paired learner activity, and in some cases additional resources as well. So let's take a look at the task rotation first. And the reason I want to show you that first is because task rotation is set up similar to the process of the centers, where we address the mastery related to the skill, the interpersonal activity or task, and the understanding task and the self-expressive task, where the kids get a chance to be creative. So this is actually called a task rotation activity, and what we're asking kids to do is take their time and work all 4 problems or tasks, and that's going to help them address the content in terms of the mastery of the content, the understanding of the content, the application in their lives of the content, and then also a chance to be creative with respect to the content. So let's take a real quick look at the self-expressive activity. The words mean and name have the same letters, but the letters are in different positions. The meanings of the words are completely different. Mathematics uses digits and place value positions to name numbers. The numbers meaning changes when the numbers are in different positions, kind of like letters in words. Find 3 more sets of words that have the same letters but different meanings. What are those words? And then also, now in the math end, write 10 5-digit numbers that have exactly the same digits but represent different numbers, and write each number in words. So a very nice activity for the students to do, and this is called a task rotation activity. Now I'm going to back up, and let's take a look at the paired learner activity. And just as it sounds, we want kids to work with a partner. And in this activity, we're going to divide the class into pairs, and we're going to hand out template 1. Notice template 1 down here is provided, and the teacher will, or the kids can actually cut these scripts out, and they're different word phrases that represent different numbers. And the kids will turn these over, and they'll follow the directions here with activity 1. And what they're going to do as they turn them over is they're going to build those numbers using the numbers here on the number cards. So these cards can be cut into pieces, and they even have commas, and the kids can build the numbers. And there's rules here as to how the students can earn points. And then we have a second activity where students will take these same numbers, and they're going to actually have duplicates of 4 of each of these digits, and they're going to draw from cards face down. And as they draw these numbers, they're going to put them on the numbers template here that's provided. And prior to starting the draws of the numbers, they actually take a guess of what that number will be. And each step along the way, as they paste or post the numbers on these spaces, they have to indicate the place value of each of these numbers, and then they have to read the number. And in the end, once they get all the numbers posted, whoever's prediction was closest to the actual number actually wins the cards, and they play 3 more rounds. So there's a total of 4 rounds, and the kids are building numbers by randomly choosing digits and placing them on the grid here, and they have to state the numbers, what the place value is, and then according to how close it is to their prediction, they win cards. So it's a nice fun game as they practice place value. Now here in this activity, we have place value with multi-digit numbers, and the directions ask partner A to gather the numbers in the blue ovals and write them in order from least to greatest, and identify the place value of the digit 5 in each number. Partner B works with the red ovals, and they write their numbers from least to greatest and also identify the place value of the digit 5 in each number. And they work simultaneously. When both partners are finished, they should share and analyze each other's work for correctness. So the instructional resource is very nice at providing the paired learner activity in addition to the task rotation. And also note that we have a model lesson plan for each of the standards as well. So just to take a quick look at one of the lesson plans here, the one for place value. Notice we provide essential questions. We have a small pre-assessment question. State the values of the odd digits in the number 7,970,743. And then we have a hook. This is a little riddle where we're talking about a number that has no value, and then simply by taking the hyphen and rotating it 90 degrees, now all of a sudden it becomes the number 1 million, and it's a nice riddle the kids will enjoy. And then we connect the hook to the math. And all of our lesson plans have a hands-on activity idea. We have an interpretation of what the standard is really saying, and then some ideas for guided practice. Now I'm going to return to our grade level list, and let's take a look at grade 7. So again, we have the standards printed out, And just to kind of keep it similar, we're going to click on number systems, and here we have applying and extending previous understandings of addition and subtraction to add and subtract rational numbers. And remember, fractions are basically handled in grades 4, 5, and 6, so the new learning here with rational numbers has to do with integers. Now notice these resources not only have a model lesson plan, task rotation, and a paired learner activity, but we also have some videos, professional development videos on different topics that relate to integers, and also a slideshow that is of interest to this particular standard. I'm going to click on task rotation to start. And let's take a look. So for the mastery, we have kids combining positive and negative numbers. For the understanding piece, we're actually reporting high temperatures and low temperatures in Fairbanks, Alaska, and the kids are having to compute the averages of those numbers. For the self-expressive, the creative learner, we're showing a rack of pool balls. And notice some are stripes and some are solids. And so the kids here are challenged to create a game of pool that actually utilizes the concept of integers, positive and negative numbers. And then for the interpersonal learner, connecting the idea of positive and negatives to the kids' world, we have the kids working with numbers of boys in their class, numbers of girls in class, the idea of positive and negative, which group has more, which is similar to the idea of combining positive and negative numbers. So that's the task rotation activity. Now the paired learner activity that we have, here we're talking about combining integers and using a number line to explain why the rules for combining integers work. That if we combine two positives, it's two moves in a positive direction. If we're combining a positive and negative, it's a move in a positive direction followed by a move in the negative direction. And notice there's practice problems for the kids as well. And we go through the different rules, and these are all printable, so you can provide these for your students. And notice we also provide a page of just number lines that you can print for your students and they can use in these activities. More rules and more practice. And here's one on subtraction of integers, and it explains what we do and why we do it. And this activity right here is kind of neat because the kids are combining integers, and when they get their final answer, they're going to look at the alphabet chart, and the letter that corresponds to the answer, they'll retrieve that, and as they retrieve their letters, it turns out to be a scrambled math word. And so they write the scrambled letters here, and then they have to unscramble the words. So kind of fun for the kids to apply their knowledge of combining integers and discovering the scrambled math word. And then this is kind of neat right here. We have a dartboard, and notice that on the dartboard we have positive numbers and negative numbers, and we have small dots on the dartboard representing the places where different players' darts have landed. And the students have to figure out the scores of the three different kind of darts. We have an example over here of how that works. The red and blue band on the outside, if a dart lands on that band, it's double the value of the number on the sector. And then we have an inner blue and red band, and if a dart lands on that band, it's triple the value. Anywhere else, it's just the value itself of the sector. Positive and negative numbers, and a lot of fun for the kids as we apply this math topic to the game of darts. Okay, I'm going to back up to the resources, and again you get a lesson plan, but I'm going to show you also that you get a video too. Now there's 4 videos associated with this. This one has to do with the fraction paper cutting activity, and it's me and another math consultant, and we're talking about a hands-on activity, which is good. Now as I mentioned earlier, students are supposed to learn fractions in the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. But quite honestly, as I get around to the schools, I notice that kids still struggle with the fractions in 7th and 8th grade. So that's why we provided this video on understanding fractions. It's a very, very good video, and it's a hands-on approach to really developing that understanding. And the kids will need that because not only do we combine positive and negative integers, but we need to be able to combine positive and negative fractions, mixed numbers, and decimals as well. And so that's a very nice support video that you can show your students. All right, I'm going to go back to the grade levels, and I want to show you real quickly a high school example. and high school is set up. Now we have some key topics at the beginning of that page on the website, where we have some topics like algebraic expressions, solving equations, with some very nice teaching ideas. And then after that we get right into the standards. And what I want to show you today is, notice we have complex numbers as one of the standards for high school. Well, all of our lesson plans have very good hooks. So what I wanted to show you here, again, we have task rotation activities for the learning styles. We have the paired learner. But I wanted to show you the model lesson plan here. And what's interesting to me is the hook we use. And notice that in the hook we talk about Bigfoot. And what's neat about Bigfoot is he's an imaginary creature. At least a lot of people think he's imaginary, and some people may think he's real. But the question is, how can we connect this idea with the idea of real numbers and imaginary numbers in mathematics? And all students have probably heard of Bigfoot, so it'll make for some very good discussion. And here's even a website you can go to that talks about Bigfoot encounters. And once we establish the idea of real and imaginary with Bigfoot, we can then segue into real numbers and imaginary numbers in higher level mathematics. So that makes it a lot of fun for kids. And all of our lessons have really nice hooks that can get the kids interested in the math you're teaching. Now, moving down on the buttons on the side, notice here we have K-8 practice items. And we developed this in line with the sense that we know that with a Common Core, there's new kinds of tests that are going to be coming down the pike that kids are going to have to take. So we got to jump on this. And for example, if you look at grade 6, what we did is we devised test items that are more in line with a new kind of testing. So the teacher would just click. I'm going to look at this under view. I'm going to go to full screen view, so it just bumps it up a little more. And so here we have a problem. Notice we have a picture of a map and kids traveling. Tammy and her family are driving on a trip to the beach. The family is traveling at a rate of 56 miles per hour. How far at that rate of speed can Tammy and her family drive during the time period that starts at 1 o'clock p.m. and ends at 5 o'clock p.m.? Drag the correct number of miles to the mileage window, and here's the mileage window. And after each question slide is the answer slide. So this is very nice. The teacher can use these to review problem-solving items in line with the idea of the new test coming down the pike. And again, each question is followed by an answer slide. And I'm going to go back. And so we have this for grades K through 8. And this is a very powerful tool that Mathcore2k provides. Now I'm going to go to Power of Every Day. The Power of Every Day button is really awesome as well. And what we provide here are daily warm-up problems for students. And I want to just pull a set up so you can see. So I'm going to click on grade 5. I'm hitting some of the grade levels we haven't looked at yet. And so here we have the daily problem solving and number sense challenges for semester 1. Now these are designed for teachers to use every day. That's why we call this the Power of Every Day. And again, I'm going to go to full screen on the view. And notice the structure right here, that Monday we have problem number 1, and we only allot 5 minutes. And the way we do that is we tell the kids, okay, you have 1 minute to solve it by yourself. You have, we have 2 minutes to solve it by yourself. And then we take 1 minute to share with a partner. And then we have 2 minutes where the teacher leads a discussion on how to solve the problem. Makes a total of 5 minutes. And notice that Monday's problem and Tuesday's problem are very similar to each other. And the reason we did that is because if the students did not know how to solve Monday's problem, we want them to come back Tuesday and experience success from what they learned the day before. Now, in addition to one main problem to solve, we also have 3 number sense problems. The 3 number sense problems on Monday and Tuesday will be similar as well. Wednesday, we introduce a new problem, and then Thursday's problem is similar to Wednesday. And again, we have 3 number sense problems. All of these days we use the 5-minute rule. Now on Friday, we have a short quiz for the students that reflects the problems for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Thursday, and also the number sense problems. So let's take a look and see what this looks like. Here we have the very first problem. This is like a Monday problem. Find the value of the expression below. And what we're emphasizing here is the idea of parentheses. Work inside the parentheses first and then do the multiplication second. So the kids will learn that lesson and then notice the number sense problems at the bottom, 8 times 15. And of course, what we want to teach here is how to break that 15 apart into a 10 and a 5. 8 times 10 is 80, 8 times 5 is 40. We know 8 plus 4 is 12, so 80 plus 40 is 120. And we teach number sense. Take away 19, take away 20. That's easier, that gets you down to 32. But knowing you took one too many, put one back makes 33, and so on. And notice that if I advance the slide, the very next slide is the solution slide. So this makes it easier for the teacher. They can show the problem and then they can show the answers. So problem 2 would be Tuesday's problem. Again, very similar to Monday. We have new number sense problems on the bottom. You click forward and you get the solution slide. Wednesday, we changed the problem a little. Now we're looking at a pattern here. And we still have the number sense problems. And then there's your solution. Then Thursday, another problem similar to Wednesday with new number sense problems. And then we have the solution. Now check out Friday's slide. We have quiz 1 for week 1. The first problem is very similar to Monday, Tuesday. The second problem is similar to Wednesday, Thursday. And then we have the 3 number sense problems, which are similar to the number sense problems the students were practicing that week. And then click one more time and you have the solution. So this makes it easy for the teacher. What this is going to do, this is going to really prepare your students for end of year testing, because they'll be practicing problem solving and number sense every day. And we're only asking for 5 minutes out of your class, which is going to leave you with enough time to do your main lesson. And this is very, very powerful, and that's why we call it the power of every day. And I'll just go one more slide to show, then it starts over again for the next Monday problem, and it's a different kind of problem. And these problems rotate so that as time goes on, the kids are going to cycle through, and as the year progresses, they're going to get very, very good at these kind of problems. All right, I'm going to back up, and I'm going to go back to the power of every day, and I'm going to go to a different grade level. Let me go to grade 8. And again, they have the power of everyday problem solving challenges consistent, all the grade levels 3 through high school. But what I want to show right now on the power of every day is the mental math strings. Mental math strings are really neat. These are mental math challenges. And we teach the kids to listen. So you'll read this to the students. They have to listen, extract numbers, and work with them, and then see if they can come up with the right answer. So here's the first one here. Start with the number of hours in one day. So we want the kids to think 24. Take 50%, which is half. That would be 12. Divide by the number of inches in a foot. Well, there's 12 inches. 12 divided by 12 is 1. Square the result. 1 times 1 is 1. Add the number of sides on a rectangle. 1 plus 4 is 5. Now add the number of sides on a pentagon. 5 plus 5 is 10, and there you get the answer as a teacher. But this is really nice also. This is a nice ticket out the door. It keeps the kids sharp because they have to use mental math, plus the vocabulary in here is amazing. They have to listen to the vocabulary and extract the numbers. And if you're wondering, what we like to do is preview the information that's in the mental math string before we actually give it to the kids, the challenge, and that way we have more kids be successful. I'm going to click back, and all the mental math strings are available for all the grade levels right there in the Power of Everyday button. So we've taken a look at the Common Core resources, which are the lesson plans, task rotations, paired learners. We've looked at the K-8 practice assessment, Power of Everyday. Now I want to show you we have a video list, and these are top-notch strategies and activities that we deliver in our professional development workshops. And again, we have videos with me talking to another consultant on these items, and you can actually watch them in the comfort of your own home. Just dial it up on your computer and watch, and then you'd be ready to deliver these to your classes the next day. The Common Core official site, when you click on that button, it takes you right to the Common Core standards. And a lot of times as teachers and instructional leaders, we need to reference the exact document of the Common Core, and that's real easy on this website. Just click on that button. We also have planning tools, and if you look at the planning tools, I'm just going to scroll down here a little. We actually have a guide for math teachers here that's very helpful with a glossary of important words. We start off with 9 essential questions. These are great questions for professional development, like number 1, beyond the word wall, what instructional methods are being implemented to develop students' math vocabulary and a rich knowledge base? 9 questions, very, very important. We have the learning styles explanation here. We have a blank task rotation activity visual organizer that you can use to have students do tasks associated with learning styles. We have our 5 stages of teaching and learning mathematics, and then a planning guide that follows the 5 stages of teaching and learning, and a lot more. So you get a lot of nice planning tools on the website as well. And moving right down, we have our mission statement and our publications. I'm going to click on publications. It's really neat. We actually have 3 books published by Corwin Press. Math Tools for grades 3 through 12, Styles and Strategies for Teaching Middle School Math, and Styles and Strategies for Teaching High School Math. We also have 3 books that my company, Dimension 2000, published. High Achievement Guaranteed, the Number Sense Edition, an Algebra Edition, and a Geometry Edition. The nice thing about these books is you can click on these, the ones that we published, the High Achievement Guaranteed books, and we actually included the PDF of all 3 books on the website. So that's loading right now, and here's the book right here, and it has a lot of great strategies and teaching ideas in here. I'm going to bounce down to a page here in particular, which is kind of neat. I think you'll enjoy this one right here. We actually developed some geometry games, geometry word games, and what we do here, this is actually a game template you can print and give to your students. It provides the perimeter formula and the area formula for a rectangle, and it actually turns out to be a card game. Kids actually use a deck of cards. They can compete with each other. They turn up cards. 1 card equals the length, 1 card equals the width, and they use their formulas to actually compute, and it's kind of a race game to see who can come up with the perimeter or the area, whichever game you're playing fastest. And notice, in addition to the rectangle card, we have a game board for the square, and then if you continue on, we have a game board for the parallelogram, and so on, along with the formula. So a great way to help your kids learn the formulas of geometry, measurement for perimeter and area for the quadrilaterals, all part of that book, and there's a lot more in those books that you will enjoy. So I'm going to click back one more time to the website, and then we have contact us of how you can contact us if you have any questions. So that's Mathcore2k.com. And again, if you go to the very initial page, which is where you go when you type in the address Mathcore2k.com on the website, there's a place you can click for order form, and you can order this for your school. The subscription price for this service is $995 for a school, and that gives access to all the teachers. We'll get you a login and I'm going to type in Mathcore2k.com so we can get back to that page, and there it is right there. So if you click on the order form will pop up. All you have to do is print it and fax it to us, and we will get you your subscription code. That's just the introductory page. Here's the order form right here, and you can sign up. And we even have specials where if you want to get it for 2 years or 3 years, you can actually save in that process. So fax the order to us at the 4618127 number, and we will jump right on it and get your login and your password to you, and you'll be enjoying all the resources of Mathcore2k. They'll be right at your fingertips at home and in your school, and I encourage you to do that, and you'll have access to all of our excellent resources for mathematics. Thank you for taking time to look at the samples of resources Mathcore2k provides.